On this episode, Weldon joins and we talk a little bit of free agency, Dallas Stars hockey, some news on the Stars, and everything in between. Sit back, relax, grab a snack and a drink, and let's get cracking. Dr. Seuss? Yeah, I don't know. All right, here comes Weldon.
What's up?
Holy moly, that was quick.
Yeah, it actually connected really fast today.
Hey, I dig it. I'm just chilling. How about you?
Oh, just chilling out, getting ready for work tomorrow.
Uh oh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Trade me.
No, I don't think you want to go work with high school kids.
Uh, okay, you're right.
Yep, start seniors of 2025.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when I started this with this company, it was seniors of 2016.
Oh, good lord. Wow.
Yeah, been a while.
Dude, that seems like. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that long ago, but it seems like forever ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What the heck? Ah, I feel old again. Stop it.
Yep. Where does the time go?
Out the window?
Pretty much.
Yes, sir.
Not not in a good way.
Nope. Tell me about it.
So, what have you been up to? What do you think of the what the Stars did?
Ah,
I
that's
know I know
actually.
you're probably confused like I am.
You know me well, don't you, sir?
Yeah, I was a little confused with you know some of the stuff they did. I understand why they did it,
Right.
but still, is what it is. We have no say. No one calls us and asks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
something I've noticed, people starting to bash Jim Nill right now. Actually, the last, what is it, 2 weeks now?
Most of them are pissed because they signed
Dude, Dumba is fine. he's gonna be all right here.
Yeah, I don't think once people get to see how he plays and everything, they only saw the Minnesota part. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a good defenseman. If as long as he'll stay out of the box,
I
because
mean, if
he
you're
does take some dumb penalties, you know, but
yeah,
maybe the coaching staff can work their magic and you know and he'll play somewhat nice. So
well, I mean, in other sports, Dallas has been known to what's the word? Reform troubled players.
yeah,
I guess we'll say. I mean, I met one too, and like by the second or third game I went to, we were on almost a first name basis. So
yeah,
I mean, like it's possible he could change his ways just by coming here.
yeah. Because everyone thought the same thing when Corey Perry came here. Nobody liked that signing. Oh, he's a douchebag. He's dirty and everything. But then once he got here and people got to see how he played and got to see him play every game, not I caught him the other night playing the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
So
I loved Corey. I loved him a lot. I wish he
I,
would
I
have
I
stayed.
had no problems with even when he was with Anaheim. He was a sneaky player, and he did stuff just to piss you off.
I like how you went back and said, "Whoop."
Yeah, had to shorten that word right there.
um,
You know, he's kind of he played along the same lines as Suter did because you noticed through the playoffs, Suter was getting some little sneaky shots in, and you know he wasn't the nicest guy on the ice. You know,
that's also what you need in the playoffs, though.
yeah,
You need some ferocity. You don't need somebody just sitting there standing around.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, in all honesty, after going back and looking at the hit on Dumba to Pavs, I had no problem with the hit because it was not dirty. Pavs knocked himself out when his helmet came off and he bounced off the ice. That's it. That's on him.
yeah,
You know that's just that was a legitimate hockey play, and it was, oh my god, it was on our player. You know, but no one had any problem with Darian Hatcher running Jeremy Roenick through the boards. And how many games did he get suspended? Five or six games, and they were in the playoffs.
oh yeah,
You know, no one had a problem with Roussel or Alexiak or any of those guys, you know, almost getting suspended or getting suspended for questionable hits.
yeah. That's kind of a double standard when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's players that I don't like, but if they were on our team, I might like them. I still wouldn't like Ryan Reeves if he was on our team or not, because I just think the guy's a douchebag.
Okay, if you want to go players that I hope we don't ever sign, Ryan Reeves is the top of the list.
Yeah.
He really is.
I love his physical play, but he's an absolutely useless player. You know,
That's all he does is hit, right?
that's he's kind of another guy from back in the day of Ralphie Torres. He was out to hurt people. you know, his last hit in the early 2000s, I think it was, when he clobbered somebody behind the net. And I want to say his suspension was 25 games.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
I mean,
mean, go ahead.
of the guys that they signed, the only one that I kind of scratch my head with is Labushkin. He's the only one I kind of scratch my head on. I don't know which direction he shoots, if he shoots left or right, If he's a right-handed defenseman, okay. You know, I would have rather seen him go after Tyson Berry. I mean, he quarterbacked the power play for the Oilers for a couple of years, and he's a very good personal friend of Jamie's.
Dang, that would have made sense then.
So, I was kind of surprised, and I don't know if he's gone anywhere yet.
Man, he would have been great in Dallas.
Unless he's getting up there in age, which, if he's friends with Jamie, he might be around Jamie's age.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, there was some questions, I was like, okay, you let Craig Smith go, but you went and got Brandon Smith. Wonder what jersey he's going to wear.
Craig Smith's probably.
Probably, Hey, we don't have to change the name bar. It's already got his name on there, Hope you like the number, kid.
I'm going to have to get an equipment manager on the show. Oh, man, that would be a hoot.
But it's like, people griping because we didn't go after Montour or we didn't go after this guy or that guy. But some of the contracts that these teams were giving, yes, we had close to $20 million to work with, and I just can't blame Neil for, hunting for bargain players. They're not going to be here for very long, but like I've pointed out to a lot of people, 25 and 26, that's going to be a critical year for the Stars.
Yeah.
There's some big players that might have to get re-signed, if they decide to re-sign Marchment, because I think he becomes a free agent then. You've got Wyatt looking at his first big contract, in which I argued with one guy. I was like, he's going to get good money. He's going to get really good money. Especially if he has another 1 or 2 years like he's having, he's going to get close to what, Rope and Robo are getting.
I mean, he's on track to.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing things that those two players didn't even do. I mean, now granted, he didn't score, 40 goals, but he scored 32 last year.
Yeah.
As Harley likes to point out in every little comedic little TV spot that they have for web spot they have.
I mean, I think Wyatt, or at least I would hope, ends up being a lifer for the Stars. Like, I would not get rid of him unless something really drastic happens, because he's not showing any signs of slowing down from what I've seen.
No.
The sophomore slump, which, I was kind of looking out for, nope, didn't happen.
Nope. I mean, he improved on all his stats from the year before.
Yeah.
He goes from 24 goals to 32 goals. Goes from 17 assists to 33 assists.
Which kind of, if you think about it, maybe that's why they're going short-term deals for other guys. Like, they're waiting for a Maverick Bork or, Stanko to go ahead and start budding as a great player. It just, they have a lot to wait on, really.
Well, I mean, if Bork is probably going to be here next year. Stankoven is going to be here. So you're going to have those two guys, competing just to see what line they're going to be on, who they're going to actually get to play with. Some people are going, oh, put Stankoven up in between, Rope and Robo. And others are saying, oh, put Bork in there. And I'm like, while yes, both of them are great players, I don't think they're ready for number one lines yet, not in the NHL.
I'm
Wyatt's already proven that he fits well between them. So, why not put Wyatt back up there?
up in line one.
Up on line one. Well, I mean, he took Joe's place,
He did.
and Joe
Yeah.
slid down to where Jamie was. So, I mean, the kid's a fantastic passer.
Yeah.
Stankoven is too. I haven't seen too much of Bork. That would be your buddy down in Texas's, field if he gets to watch him play a lot. But I think Wyatt would be perfect for that top line. Second line is going to be, Duchesne, Sagan, and Marchman again. So it's who is your third and fourth line? Jamie and Stankoven and Bork. And then you mix Bork and Stankoven up with Tyler and Duchesne, from time to time, because those two guys are not fourth liners. Especially Stankoven because he's so small.
Yeah.
That's why to me, I know why they let Fatsa go, or traded him. It was for money.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's taking that fourth line now with Steele, man, they better step up. Because, Fatsa was one of the best, at taking faceoffs. He was in the top 5 on the team in shot blocks. He killed penalties, so whoever's taking his spot, better step it up in their game.
They better be ready, like, I don't know, yesterday.
Yeah.
The Foxa thing is the biggest thing that has me scratching my head. Why didn't you manage him better if you're just going to send him away?
Well, he had 1 year left on his contract. This was the final year of his contract, and he had a pretty good sized cap hit. He had 3.25 or 3.5, something like that. So I mean, that's a lot of money for a fourth line guy.
Yeah, true.
Now I wish they would have gotten, because I wish they'd have gotten at least draft picks. Because what is a future consideration? Is that a bag of books? Is that a wrap of sticks? What the hell is future considerations?
Future considerations to me sounds like an unsigned rookie somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like to me.
Do we get to, if they picked somebody and be like, hey, we really wanted him, that's our future consideration. Give him here.
That would be kind of cool. Really would. Essentially, though, as of right now, they got him for nothing. Gave him away for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just for a little bit of money, And,
well, I mean, they've still got to sign Harley. There's been no talk of what Harley's offer sheet was. Unless you've heard something. I haven't heard anything.
No, sir. I have not.
So,
I mean, yeah, no, I haven't. So, I mean, beyond Matt Dumba being here and DeSmith, that's really the only thing I know is going on.
Yeah. Well, and Colin Blackwell, I don't, other than, what did he play for? Chicago? I have no clue who this guy is.
Yeah. All the comments on that social media post, they're like, who?
And he's an older player. He's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He has 5 years of experience. He was a 7th round draft pick. I'm not knocking on 7th rounders because Pavelski was 7th round, but that was something special.
I mean, seventh round though is where you usually find, I don't want to say the steals, but the unexpected,
Yeah.
well, diamond in the rough type.
Yeah. Well,
Is
that's
what,
usually fifth round. That seems to be us. It's fifth round because you got
yeah,
Jamie, you got Klinger, you got, several other guys that were fifth rounders.
yeah, true. Eh,
But yeah, it's just, the Blackwell, Cole Lind, no idea who that guy is. You know, for 23, 24, he had no points, no assists, no nothing. I don't even, did he even play? Oh, he played, let's see, played in Vancouver for one game.
I feel like that might be an AHL guy.
He's on the actual Stars roster.
I feel like he ends up in Cedar Park.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because in 3 years he has 31 games.
That screams AHL to me.
So
what about his AHL career? What's that like?
it doesn't even say anything about it.
Oh. Okay. So we're just gonna throw something at the wall and see what sticks? Got it.
I guess.
That's kind of what it seems like with him.
Yeah.
I would bet Cedar
I mean,
Park,
which granted, some of these guys might not even make it to the opening roster,
True.
because I'm sure that players have been let go during preseason. So,
oh shoot, we had, who was it? Stefan Nason, however you say his name. I thought he was going to end up on the Stars roster. It was a year or two ago, and he ended up in Chicago the last time I had seen him.
Yeah, okay.
I can't even remember where I last saw him play. But that was a guy that I thought would make it. He got cut too, and that was a training camp thing.
It's kind of like Cameron Hughes. He's a center. He's got 2 NHL games.
Was that one of the Hughes kids?
No.
No? Oh.
Guy's from Edmonton. He's been playing in the league for 4 years, but he was with Boston through 2019 and 20. So I'm guessing he's been down in the AHL the entire time. So
yeah.
Now, granted, those guys could be okay. You're going to Cedar Park.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who all they lost in Cedar Park either.
I don't either. I haven't even kept up with it.
I do know this. No more Bally Sports.
Yeah. Now it's just where does it go?
Shoot. I can't even begin to theorize where they go or hypothesize or whatever word you want to use. I don't know. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I used to see Stars games on, what was it, TXA 21?
Yeah. That's before I moved up here.
Yeah. Like,
So
I don't see. Go ahead.
I don't know. I hope I don't have to, I hope they get something where we can watch the away games. I don't want to be listening to 41 games on the stupid radio every night,
That was me because I didn't have Bally.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind listening to, if I'm driving somewhere or if I'm, still at work and listening to a game, but I don't know. I don't know what they've got planned for, whatever this network is. Maybe they can
That
take over the Longhorn Network and make it the Stars Network, and all stars all the time.
oh shoot, the Dallas Cowboys had their own network, and that thing disappeared faster than Houdini.
I mean, I don't understand what would be so hard you know, to run them. I
I
don't
don't
understand
either.
how the Cowboys couldn't run one. I mean, even though they suck, they're still an incredibly popular team. You know.
Listen, man, if they're still popular, something about them doesn't suck. The product
Well,
on the field might
the
suck.
the Oakland Raiders suck, but everybody loves them. You know.
Yep.
I used to love them back in the day, and then it was like, okay, y'all guys do really suck, and I don't feel like getting harassed when I'm wearing your T-shirt or your hat or something. So,
Hey, Bray Wyatt was a fan.
and then then when they moved from Oakland to Los Angeles, and then back to Oakland, and then now to Vegas, you know, can't like anything in Vegas.
Ugh, Golden Knights. Mr. LTIR. Ugh.
Yep.
Oh, no. Hang on. No. Going back to a guy that I wouldn't want on the team, add him to that too.
Oh yeah.
Mark Stone. I think I would throw all my Stars gear in the closet until they got rid of him.
Yep.
I think that
Well,
would be the guy.
well, it's like when who was it? Was it Brett Hull and Les Jackson were the two idiots that brought Sean Avery here and said, "Oh, we can control him."
Wasn't he traded like 2 days later or
He
released?
he did not last long in Dallas. I think he either he got traded or he got suspended for running his mouth.
That's what it was. Yeah. And they said at the end of it that it was an attitude issue.
He always had an attitude. He was a
Yeah.
douche.
Yeah.
In a
I mean,
four-letter word ending in D and ending in K.
duck.
Replace the put an I in there.
Quack.
I hated that guy.
I think everybody did. Everybody that wasn't rooting for his team. Big diva. What about I mean, okay, so Dumbo's on the team and everybody's butthurt about it. But again, like you said, circling back to it, that's a guy you want on your team though.
Yeah.
He said in the media availability, he's a guy that's willing to do a lot of stuff that most people aren't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We haven't. I mean, yes, Marchment fights a little bit. Fox have fought a little bit. Alexiak, he would fight if he had to, but it's not like those guys were running and looking for fights if one of their players were getting trashed. Jamie
Yeah.
Jamie can't be on the ice the entire time when you're going to have two small rookies because Stankoven's 5'8", Bork is only 5'9". It's not like these are two big hulking individuals. Somebody's going to have to ride shotgun for these two. So,
I mean, I'm all for it. I embrace Dumbo being here. Like he seems like a cool guy too.
yeah, long as him and Tyler don't take a knee again, I'm fine. That was my main problem with Dumbo when all that crap started. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm willing to let it all go. Go out there, do your job, play hockey. So
I mean, whoever gets me a Stanley Cup, I'm cool.
Yeah. And they needed some attitude, they needed some grit, they needed a right-handed defenseman, and I think all the defensemen they grabbed, I think they were all right-handed. So
Well, that's probably why they went after him then in the first
yeah.
place.
Oh, it very well could be.
Like, you guys are all confused about who's this, who's that, who's Labushkin. What side of the ice does he play? That's
Yeah.
why he's here. I mean, you're looking for, like, how do I say it? Ralph Lauren, and you think you're getting great value.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, it doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. It's what you're willing to do on the ice.
Yeah.
And I'm cheering for Matt Dunn, but heck, I would almost get his jersey because everybody hates him. He does his job.
Yeah. If he goes out and does his job and does stuff right for the team, which I'm sure he will, because I mean he played good in Minnesota. He's not a flashy defenseman. And I even saw one person comment on there, and there's like, oh, well, maybe we should go look back up John Klingberg. I'm like, one, his hip hasn't been proven yet that he can even come back. And I was like, and every Stars fan ran him out of town because he was too flashy of a defenseman. He was too what was it? Too offensive minded of a defenseman.
People said he should have been a forward.
Yeah, all the people saying, "Oh, yeah, he should have been a forward." It's like, no, he's a defenseman. It's like, but you don't, people gripe that he was too offensive, but then people go, "Oh, I wish I had Cale Makar on my team." And
Yeah, well, you don't.
don't think Cale Makar is an offensive-minded defenseman? He scored almost 100 points a couple of years ago. You know,
People griping just to gripe.
no,
You know what?
people want big names to have big names.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the best. I don't want to insult Tyler or the rest of the people that we brought in, like Pabs and all them. But the best big name that we had that we didn't hold on to, maybe we should have, was Yager.
Yeah, yeah, because he could still be playing.
It could. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the team would have unfolded if he stayed around a little while longer, but I mean, why did you let him go? If you,
Yeah, I don't even know what they got for him.
I would be willing to bet, and I don't bet at all. I would be willing to bet those guys aren't even in the league anymore,
Oh, probably not.
or anywhere near hockey anymore, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, and he went over and what bought him a team in Czechoslovakia or Czechia or whatever the hell it's called now. And he still plays.
I'll do you one better. I think he bought the team he played for.
Yeah, yeah, he bought the team that he played for. Um, but
In his hometown.
I don't remember what the name of the team was or anything.
Me neither.
But he could still go. Even because I don't even know who did they even trade him to.
New Jersey?
I don't remember.
Dallas to the Devils. I would almost bet on that too. I don't remember either though. But that was a guy for sure, big name style that you should have kept if you were going to keep any of them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look where he's at now. I think his number was retired not long ago.
Yeah, he had got retired in Pittsburgh.
And isn't he a Hall of Famer, or is it just Pittsburgh, like a Ring of Honor type thing?
That I'm not sure of.
I swear on my last breath on this earth, I saw one of those, his name being involved with one of those. I can't remember which. But either way, that's still somebody they honor. And he could have made a big impact here. I mean,
He got traded to Boston.
Boston. Okay, so I would have lost that bet. Yike.
2013
So what do you still?
for a pair of prospects. Let's see who the prospects were.
Ryan Button. No, wait, that was Tyler Sagan that brought him in.
Dallas received forwards Lane McDermott
Oh yeah.
and Cody Payne. No idea who either one of those guys are.
McDermott played in the AHL for a few years. I do remember seeing him.
See, they should have traded for Patrice Bergeron.
I mean, yeah.
Who knew how good Patrice Bergeron was going to be back then?
That kind of brings me back to the Foxa thing. Well,
Yeah.
What if the fourth line overpaid guy is all he's ever gonna be?
Yeah.
So that after talking to you though, and hearing that your first two lines might be the only ones that are set in stone.
I think the third line is 2 out of 3 of those guys are there.
Yeah.
Jamie and Stankoven are there. Now, whether you put Dodonov back down with Steele, or do you put keep Dodonov, Stankoven, and Ben together, and then you just have to rebuild your fourth line.
That's a fun situation to be in.
And Steele's the man on that line. Because I was really shocked when he didn't get a qualifying offer, and I'm like, oh God, what are you doing? This guy, he played his ass off.
And I told you he might be somebody to watch if I remember correctly.
That's like I was telling one guy. He was like, oh well, they're signing all these guys that I've never heard of, and I was like, dude, I said, other than Sam Steele, I said, which the only reason why I knew him was because we had talked about him during the summer and then played against him in Minnesota. I said, I had no clue who this kid was. I had no clue at who Craig Smith was. All I knew, he had played for Pittsburgh.
Sam Steele's a Duck, too. A Duck alumni.
Yeah. Yep, that's who he was drafted by.
And
so
I remember the hype then. They thought he was going to be some trailblazing, I don't even know, but
Oh yeah, no, I remember there were high hopes for him, and they just never materialized.
I mean, and I'd question that. Like, okay, so he didn't live up to what you thought. Take the pressure off of him and let him see, or let him show you what he can do.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he has to be a bust. And oh my God, that is a pet peeve of mine, seeing people say, oh, that dude's a bust.
Oh yeah.
Why? What makes him a bust? Because you guys idolized him and he didn't live up to it?
Yeah.
Well, he still has 20, 30 goals. I'm hypothetical here.
Yeah.
And 40 some odd points. Dude, shut up. He still did good.
Yeah.
He
still scored more than you did in the stands.
Exactly. Stop calling people a bust.
Well, that's like people that, they wanted to, talk down about Suter and everything. And that's like, okay, I said, wait a minute. He's played how many games? 1,400. He's played it for 3 different teams. He was on Team USA, World Juniors. I think the guy knows how to play hockey. Yes, he's gotten slower since his mid-20s and early 20s, but pretty sure we all have. I couldn't skate one shift with those guys. Even when I was in my best shape. I can't skate, but I love people that, especially if I'm at a game and and I'm listening to conversations around me, and and hear people say, "Oh, that guy sucks. He didn't even need to be on the team." And it's like, dude, where are you watching the game from again? Oh, you're in the stands. Shut up. Yeah, I don't care if you're some little beer leaguer. Go out there and do a shift with them and see how long you last.
Oh gosh. You ain't gonna find that anywhere on the internet, I guarantee you.
No, I mean I've got a really good friend of mine that he used to be a goalie down in Corpus as for the Ice Rays, and me and him talk a lot. He now has his own you know team up in Canada,
Cool.
and it's for younger players. He had what was his name? Levi. Um, he's playing with Buffalo now. He's one of their goalies. And at the time he was working with this kid Levi, he was also working with Spencer Knight, which is with Florida. And he's telling me, dude, you watch out for these two kids. You know. And it's funny to hear him talk on the business side of it, not just this, he's a good kid, watch for him. And just to listen to the business side of it, and it's like, wow, it's way more complicated than people think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And what the hell's the name of their team? The Brookville Braves, I think is what it's called. And they have the same emblem as the Blackhawks.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, oh, you're gonna need to change that logo, you racist,
Oh god.
And he's like, never.
Never.
But yeah, it's interesting to hear, from him and hear the business side of, working with these kids and, and hoping they move up and, to their next level and everything. So it's kind of
See,
fun.
I don't think I could do that either because you get them on a team and they get stuck sometimes. Because the team's overloaded with talent, and then you're just waiting on, you know what I mean?
Well, these guys are like 16, 17, 18 years old, so they age out. They have to move up.
Oh, I get you.
So it's kind of like the NAHL, 16 to 21, then you age out and you're either going to, you're either billeting with a family and, maybe if you're lucky, you're playing high school hockey or you're competing for spots to go into college,
Nice.
So
That's really cool.
But yeah, just listening to the business side of it is, it's always kind of wild when I talk to him and be like, oh, well, what do you think this guy's contract is gonna, what kind of money do you think he's gonna want? Like Spencer Knight, we were talking about it here a couple of weeks ago, right after the cup was handed out and everything. I was like, what do you think? Is he gonna stick around? Or is it going to be Stolars that's going to stick around? And he goes, no. He said they're working with Spencer Knight. They want him to be the next guy. And he goes, I have a feeling that Stolars will end up going out, and then sure, come the trade or the free agency thing, Stolars goes to the Leafs. So
yeah, I just saw that earlier.
So I was like, wow, almost he didn't have the team, but he kind of called it, that was he was going to be the odd man out and everything. So
that's nuts. Sounds like somebody that needs to be on this show too, because God, I love the sports business stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, I've got friends that, that their kids are trying to go into it. And I'm like, okay, you can't get into this because, oh my God, I like that player. You can't get attached to these guys because it's a business, They're
Yeah.
all going to move around. They're not going to stay here forever. You know, we've been blessed with a couple of players. It's, started here and finished here.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie's probably going to be one of them. You had Yuri Letnin, you know, um, who else came here and started and left or finished here?
Mm.
Hasn't been a whole lot.
Shoot, not even our idol, whatever you want to call him, Mike Madonna.
Yeah,
He left too.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody's favorite pretty boy.
He left because of Newendike. Newendike didn't want to re-sign him. You know, which I still didn't understand that. I'd been like, okay, here's your deal, limited time, limited role playing. You're getting old. You know, we're not going to give you a ton of money if you want to, finish as a star. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah.
But Mike still wanted to play a little bit, and then he got hurt, and then you had whoever the coach was there in Detroit. You know, what was it? Benched him or didn't play him so he could get his 1,600 games or whatever it was that he had. And he was stuck at 15.99 or whatever just because the coach was a douchebag. I think that was Babcock.
This is his hometown team too. He's from Livonia, right?
Yeah, he was from Detroit, I think.
Jeez. Slapped in the face by your own hometown team.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, like I said, as far as the signings that they've brought in, I don't have a problem with any of them. I wish they could have gotten, Wedge to come back, whatever money, $500,000, all they did was give it to another player. So
similar numbers too.
Yeah, very similar numbers. And I think they're pretty similar in age, aren't they?
Oh boy, I think Wedgwood might have been a little younger. No.
Mr. Smith, he's 32. I don't remember how old Scott was.
I think Scott might have been the older guy, actually. I had it backwards. But DeSmith, I mean, he was with the Penguins when he was making noise, if I remember right.
Yeah, Scott was just a little bit younger. He's 31.
Oh, he is younger.
Yeah, just a touch.
I couldn't remember. I apologize. But yeah, I mean the numbers are the same. The age is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did it come down to? I guess the numbers.
Yeah, because what did DeSmith come in for? $1 million? I believe so. Was. And I think Wedge got $1.5 million. So
even the numbers are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's the thing about DeSmith. DeSmith was coming in, and he's excited about helping Jake and, forming a relationship from what I heard.
Yeah.
The two of them just kind of working to better each other.
Yeah, it's, hopefully he can push Jake and, get him a little more. Because I mean, honestly, you think about it, after this year, 25-26, Jake's an RFA. So Jake's going to get another decent sized contract. He's already making $4 million. So
the RFA part gets me. Wow.
Because he did take a very team friendly deal. He didn't go for to try to get 8 years or something like that. I look for his next one to probably be, 6.5 to 7. Especially if he has another good year and, either gets us the cup or gets us very close again. So
I think this is where you start to see the pressure build up for him, though.
I don't know, but I mean, he seems to handle pressure very well. He doesn't look like he ever gets. Yes, he has some bad games, but I mean, what goalie doesn't? But how many of them bounce back and come back and have a tremendous game?
True.
You know,
I mean, he could very well. We could see a different Jake next year.
yeah.
We really don't know, but
And
I feel
you
like
think about this for this year, for this summer, he's not having to rehab. He's not
sure.
hurt. He's not coming off whatever surgery he had. He's healthy. He just got married here a couple of weeks or, maybe a week or so ago.
Yeah.
So he's very much going to be on a high.
Yeah.
So I think, if our defense is better than what we were last year, if these guys can gel on defense, with Labushkin and Smith and Dumba, we're gonna have because Smith. Let's see. Oh, Smith can play. He can play defense and offense. He can play winger.
Oh, nice.
That's right. That's the one that they were talking about. So and Essa and Miro and Harley and and all those guys. You know, Nils Nils is going to be playing for a contract. If he has another crappy year and he only gets 60 games and then after 60 he only gets 4 minutes a game, I'd say send that boy packing. Send him back to Sweden. Cuz I'm sorry, 1.25 for him, I didn't think he deserved a raise.
See, the more you talk about it, the more I kind of feel like him being brought back was just like, all right, you get one more
Yeah,
chance, buddy.
it's a show me year.
Yeah.
It's it's a Val Nichushkin last year. Now granted, Niels had more points than Val did his final year, but look at what Val's done other than a lot of cocaine and a couple of hookers now. So, but
I'm
he's
sorry.
still
What?
making $7 million a year if he can get his act clean.
I'm more excited about Matt Dumba being here. Forget Val. I really am. Dude, I saw a video, an old video now, where he was sniffing smelling salts in Minnesota.
They all do that.
The face he was making, though. He
Those things
looked
are
like,
those things are horrible smelling.
dude, he looked like he was enjoying it, though. Have you seen the old video?
I've seen some of the ones that even that Marchment does, and it's like you're getting a little too much liking out of that, and that's something I'm going to have to ask one of them. He'd be like, okay, what do they smell like? Why do you need to sniff them? You know,
he, he leaned in, sniffed it, pulled back immediately, went back in to sniff it again. His eyes about bulged out of his head.
I don't get it.
It was so funny. Like, I like that. I think he's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I should have asked him about that in the thing. Ah, dumb. Man, I missed an opportunity there. That would have been a great question to ask because I don't know. Whatever. I'll never get that chance again either. Watch.
I just don't. I don't think it's going to be a long hair or a. I think people are going to come up and they're going to like what he does, you know. And I think the hate for him, yeah, he might get booed a couple of times, you know, but I have a feeling he doesn't care, you know.
He doesn't. Even though he said he's going to try and show the Stars faithful what he's about. He
Yeah,
did say that. I'm not going to tell you his exact words because I can't remember them now, but they're all out there in writing. So,
yeah,
but I mean, I'm I think that's the one I'm most excited for. Like
yeah,
quite literally.
yeah.
Because
I'm very interested to see what he can do.
is he going to bring the heart that many people, myself included, questioned about the Stars? Are you going to see Vegas push us around now?
I honestly don't think Vegas is going to play that well this year.
No, they lost a crap ton of people, didn't they?
Yep.
What about Colorado? Colorado's almost always a threat.
Yeah, but they're in a lot of trouble right now. They're in a lot of cap trouble. You know, they've got, Val on whatever the suspension thing that he's on. Um, you've got Landeskog. They're still not sure if that guy's coming back, and they're still paying him.
Wow. Wow.
And I forgot what there was someone that put up about them being in cap trouble, and they didn't have a full you know lineup of players and everything. So and that
Colorado feels like one of those teams though that they can plug and play and they'll still be good.
well, yeah, if you've got players to plug and play, they lost a bunch of people too.
Yeah, they did.
And they've got less than $4 million to work with. Roster
Ooh.
size roster size 19 out of 23. So they're missing some people.
And they got 4 million ish, neighborhood of 4 million to work with, you said.
Yep. 3.8 is what they have to work with.
They got 19 out of 23. Whoa.
19 out of 23 players.
There are going to be some really ticked off fans over there, too.
Yep.
Who's this? Why is he here?
And I mean, other than, their big name players like McKinnon and McCarr, there's a lot of guys that, that aren't going to be there in a few years. You've got McKinnon he's 7 years until he's a UFA. You've got Mikko Rantanen. He's only got one more year. He could easily go somewhere else. Casey Middlestat, he's there for 3. Lehkonen is there for 3. Ross is there for 3. And Miles Wood is there for 5. Drouin's there for a year. A couple of other guys never heard of. Kivi's there. Kivi's there one more year. McCarr's there for 3. Taves for 7. McCarr is going to get a huge contract.
They need to be careful with that, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Kid could come back to bite him in the butt.
Yeah.
Gorgiev is only there for one more year. He's got 1 year until he's a UFA.
But see, the way their coaching is, though,
They've got great coaches.
Yeah. I fully believe that you could take any one of those or any 2 or any 3 of those players out, plug somebody in, and they'd be fine. Just because of the way they're coached.
Well, I don't know since I don't follow the ECHL anymore, I don't know how dominant the Colorado Eagles are anymore.
Oh, that's a
I mean,
fun team.
they used to be the cream of the crop in the CHL back in the day. So
they were. See, I keep
they were kind of like Allen was in the Southern Division.
Yeah, that's about what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
they're fun to watch. Like that's a good squad over there.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting this year because there was a lot of movement of players, and I mean, honestly, I don't look for Florida to be as good as what they were last year. They lost a couple of good defensemen that really helped them out.
Yeah.
Granted, they kept Reinhardt and who was the other big defenseman they kept? But they had a lot of moving pieces. I was surprised that Dallas didn't have more moving pieces than what they did.
That brings to mind a question: do you think we're done now?
I think we're probably done because I mean, unless Neil finds, just some dude that's out there that could really really help out. But like I said, we've still got to pay Harley.
Yeah.
And we're at 7.1 million in cap space right now. Now, granted, Harley's not going to get all that. I look for Harley to probably get maybe 3.5, 4.
So he's going to get a big chunk out of it then.
But also Neil could be sitting back waiting, let the season start, see how things go, come trade deadline. Then we've actually got money instead of being, we've got $200,000 to work with. What can that buy me?
Right.
So, that's kind of what I was thinking with Neil, moving Foxa out, that gave them an additional, $3-something million to work with. So, who knows what they're going to offer Harley? Because I think he was still on entry level contract, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what he was making. 23-24, he made cap hit was 863,000. His AAV was 1.2.
Wow.
1.288. Performance bonuses of 637,500. I'd take his performance bonuses and live on that.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be pretty good.
Be nice,
Pay the bills pretty easily.
Yep. So, his first year in 1920, he made $925,000 just on the cap hit, and then AAV was 1.35. Signing bonus of almost 100,000. So, but he's been averaging, and his cap hit 863,000 since 2019 and 20. So, and I mean, he had a great year, so he easily deserves a bonus or a definite pay raise.
Yeah.
So, do they take and do they split what they have and go, okay, here's $3.5 million, for, 4 or 5 years, or, because how old is he? 22. Klinger got a 7-year deal on, after only playing here, a year and a half after coming up from the AHL.
Oh yeah, he did.
And I think Essa got a 6 or 7 year deal. I think if it was me, I would want more security over money, knowing that I'm going to be playing in the same place for the next 7 years. Say Neil did something like that with a 7 year contract. That puts him at almost 30 when the contract is up. He's still in the prime of his career, So that's kind of what I'm looking for, thinking that that's what they'll do with him is probably a 6 or 7 year deal.
Yeah.
And then if they can get him, to where they're not paying him, almost $8.5 million like what they're paying Miro, he's not in that class of what Miro is, but he's not far away. So
I mean, I think he would be right behind him, like you said.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's easily going to be him, Essa, Miro. Those are your top 3 guys.
Yep.
Essa's going to have someone, an offensive, guy that plays on his line. Because, face it, he's a defensive-minded defenseman.
Yeah.
He is very much offensive. He still needs to clean up his defensive games, because that Edmonton series, he made some bad plays.
To say the least.
He made some very bonehead, moves. And it's because he's still young. I mean, being 22, that's first time, being in the playoffs. I'm sure, he was in the playoffs with Texas, but that's not the same.
Right.
So I look for him to be way better this year. So
I mean, we can hope they all are. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the new guys they're very much going to be a wait and see. So
sounds like I need to do some player profiles and see how I think they'll fit in.
Yeah.
Interesting. Look at Weldon getting me back into writing.
Well, I mean, like Labushkin, most of us don't know that much about him, other than he played for Toronto.
I've heard the name. I feel like I've heard his name in Anaheim. Did he play in Anaheim?
Let me look. Let's see where he's played.
I'm going to blow his mind if I'm right.
Well, he's Russian, so I don't have high hopes for him.
Oh.
We just always seem to do bad with Russian players. Dodonov is turning out to be fairly decent.
Zubov was pretty good, but he wasn't ours.
He didn't start out as ours.
Nope. That was an import.
Yep, from Pittsburgh or the Rangers.
Both.
Well, I know that he played for both, but
yeah,
who did he play for last? Come on, give me some. All he wants to give me is his salary. Doesn't want to give me who he played for.
Oh.
So now I'm having to go back and go, I need to go back and look at the standings. How did Chicago? Okay, alphabetical order. Never mind. I was like, how did Chicago get to be top of the list? Oh, let's see who Mr. Labushkin played for. Arizona, Toronto, Arizona, Buffalo. He played for Anaheim in 23 for 55 games. Then he got traded to Toronto.
So, see, that's where I remember him from. Was Anaheim.
I think I remember him more from Arizona because He played for Arizona 18, 19, 20, and then got traded to Toronto. Got sent back to Arizona in 21. 22, he was 68 games with Buffalo. Went to,
Ow.
went to Anaheim for 55 games. Back to Toronto for 19 games. So this guy has bounced around a lot.
That sounds like teams can't decide if they want him or don't, though.
353 games. He has 47 points for a grand total at plus minus of minus 33. Telling me he's played on some crappy teams.
I mean, that's not his fault, though.
No. Nope, not at all.
So there's hope. Like, see, that could send me off on a little tangent because I've seen people question him based on the plus minus. And have you seen those posts that I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Well, I've argued with people about plus minus, and it's a garbage stat.
And you can't
You
tell
know,
me.
how can you blame a defenseman for somebody scoring a goal? Oh, the forward let him get by and score, so everybody gets a minus.
Exactly.
That's not his fault. That's on the goalie and whoever else. That would be like putting plus minuses on goalies. You know, so
That would be a fun idea.
well, they've already got that. It's called a score.
Oh, well, okay.
You finished -6 tonight. We got beat 6-1. So
Here you go. What if they brought in DeSmith because Wedgwood's inability or desire, for that matter, to play outside the net so often? There you go. There's your difference between DeSmith and Wedgwood. I don't know.
is DeSmith a puck handling goalie?
He is, but he goes behind the net rather than coming out to challenge.
No.
So, I mean, that's what I was getting at. What if the puck handling is what caused them to let Wedgwood walk and bring in DeSmith?
I think the reason why they let Wedge go is just money. I think he wanted more money than the Stars wanted to give him, which he did deserve a raise because he played incredibly well.
He did.
He's been our best backup goalie in probably 10 years.
Oh yeah, easily.
So
I just hope.
I think that's what the whole deal was he wanted a little bit more money than the Stars were willing to give up. And then, like I said, that all comes back to Neil trying to save a little money, for thinking further down the road.
Yeah. Well, hopefully having DeSmith there will allow Jake to have a little bit of a break too, because I mean, coming off of surgery and you're playing, unless I read that wrong, 53 games? Did I read that wrong?
For who, Jake?
Yeah, for Jake this season.
What did Jake have?
I saw somewhere he had 53 games, and what does that put Wedge at? 20.
Yeah, he played 53 games this year. He won 35, lost 14, 4 in overtime.
See, got to give the kid some rest too.
Well, I mean, that's basically a 60. He played 60% of the season. So
I don't know, man. Coming off an injury too, or surgery or whatever it was, playing 60% of the season. That dude is a tank.
So that still put Wedge at playing, or Wedge playing almost 30 games. That's not even including if Jake got pulled, which Jake did get pulled several games.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's not a bad split. Most teams are about 60-20. So
Wasn't there a time where Ben Bishop and Hedovin split almost though? 41-41?
there were a couple of games. There were a couple of years that they did that.
I feel like that would help in keeping the goalies consistent. Not that I know anything about it, but like, got to take care of your goalies a little bit better, man. Sheesh.
Well, you look at like when Bish was with Tampa. There were times that he was playing upwards of 65 games a year.
I'd be exhausted.
I mean,
I might even be dead.
UC Saros last year, and bringing up Nashville, he played 64 games last year. Started 64 games. Now, granted, he won 35. His record was 35-24-5. So if Wedge comes in there and he's the backup, and he takes 20-25 games away from him, that puts him back down, high 40s, low 50s, somewhere in that range. So I look for DeSmith probably to get 20, 25, if he gets hot and he's playing really well, getting more. Because who knows? He could have a bounce back season and be incredible.
Yeah.
He was playing with Demko and I forgot who their other goalie was, but when Demko got hot, there wasn't nobody getting in the net.
Nope.
So and there's times that Jake gets that way. Look at last year. He 9 out of the last 11 games or something like that he won. The year before, they did, he did the same thing. I think he won 8 or 9 out of the last 10 games. So now if they're meaningless games and you've already got your spot locked up, then you can give your goalie a break and let the other guy get in there.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting to see what they do with everything this year. And if the team gels and they go on some good runs and get on some hot streaks, and that'll be great.
And then you'll see people wondering on all the social media why we didn't get these guys in the first place.
Oh yeah. Well,
everybody that we're questioning.
Well, that's always the big thing. But the biggest problem with when they did the free agency is everybody wants that big name. They want that shiny penny that just won a championship and everything. And I'm sorry, that doesn't mean squat. These guys that went to Seattle, Seattle's defense is going to be pretty good this year.
Yep.
They're still big, but I still don't think they have the scoring. I think the one that's going to be the toughest, and if those guys in Nashville can gel, Nashville's going to be freaking dangerous this year.
Oh yeah.
Now, if Stammer can not get injured this year, because he has a habit of getting injured, $8 million is a lot to pay a guy to sit in the press box with a knee injury.
True. What is he on? 3 years?
4 years. 4
4
years
years?
at $8 million.
So I was right the first time. Dang it.
You know,
Dang.
it was, and it sounds like there's some rumblings that, who was it, Ryan O'Reilly? They wanted uh, the Preds to trade for Mitch Marner.
Oh, I saw that and it made me laugh.
You know,
You
I
guys
like
trying to...
I like Mitch in the regular season, but man, come the playoffs, him and Matthews, they disappear.
I mean, you put Marner on the right squad, though, he might light everybody up.
Oh yeah, he very well could.
So, can't speak for Matthews, but
Yeah,
I mean, Mitch Marner is Mitch Marner.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Stars somehow, some way, but it probably won't happen ever.
Oh no, nope.
I
No,
didn't think Matt Dumba would ever come to the Stars, and
you're talking apples and oranges there. You're talking elite scorers and a decent defenseman.
well, I mean, I'm talking like big name is what I was going for.
Yeah,
But not positional comparison. No, not a chance.
yeah.
But big names, we got our big name. We got Matt Dumba. Like we're good.
Well, I mean, we've got our big names, and they've already been here. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
it's Stankoven and Bork. You've got Johnston. I mean, those are the kids that are going to carry the Stars for the next 10 years. And then you've already got Rope, so because you think not far down the line, there's not going to, unless Ben decides to resign, he very well much could retire, with all the money he's made and everything. Few years after that, you've got Sagan that's going to be, having to make that decision. Does he stay? Does he keep playing? Does he retire?
Yeah, true.
So
Guess it'll be a fun couple of years.
yeah, it's funny to sit and think about it that okay, I met Tyler the year that he came in here. I watched Jamie the first year that he was drafted and he brought into the Stars and everything, and to watch him, from a punk little rookie that was out trying to prove everything to, now he's our longest tenured captain in Stars history, when he's a few years away from, needing a big contract renewal, which, hopefully he takes a nice little Pavelski, contract, $3-4 million, and, because he's only made what 9.5 or something for the last 7 years, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely not struggling financially.
Yeah. They're not hurting for money. And so and then you would hope when he decides to retire that, he gets to help pick who the new captain is that replaces him, like Murrow did and Madonna did.
Yeah.
So because I very well could see it between 4 players.
Go on.
Either Wyatt, Rope, or Miro.
Oh.
It won't be Stankoven. It won't be Bork. I would be pushing towards Wyatt.
That would be wild. Wyatt Johnston as the team captain. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it. He's been basically groomed by Pavelski, um, 8 or 9 year captain. He was playing on the same line as the current captain. How could you not look at him as a possible captain for your team?
True. Good question.
And then you've got Miro, you've got Robo, you've got Rope.
Mm-hmm.
I could see any one of those four guys. Those would be my picks for captains.
I have no argument either.
So here's one for thought.
Uh-oh.
Who's your next assistant captain for this year since Pavelski left?
Oh, shoot.
And was Suter? No, Suter wasn't. Was he? Was he an assistant captain?
No.
No.
No, I feel like
Is it Miro or is it Essa?
Miro was one.
Okay.
Pavelski was the other. Sagan?
Yeah. Say again. This is sad. I don't know who our assistant captains are. Not even thinking about it anymore because I don't see their jersey as much.
Okay. How many A's do we have? 3?
Yes, 3.
Okay, so my alternates for me, just being the armchair GM guy. Jamie's the obvious captain. We'll go Miro. We'll go. That's tough. Miro, Sagan, because Sagan's been constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Robo. No. Ooh. Rupe. One of those two.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you?
I and this is bad because I've been watching them for the last 7 years from the stands, and who our assistant captains were. I knew Pavelski was one. I knew Sagan was one. Couldn't remember who our defensive other captain was. If it was
Miro.
if it was Essa or if it was Miro.
I think they might have alternated, actually.
Could have been.
I feel like they alternated between home and away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I was confused as to why one game Tyler had an A, and then I noticed that Pavelski had an A, and then Tyler didn't.
Okay. I'm looking up at my Winter Classic picture, and Klinger's wearing an A, Sagan's wearing an A, Jamie's got the C. So, and at that time, Pavelski didn't have an A. So it must be one offense and one defense assistant captain.
Okay, so by that standards, that helps me.
Yeah.
I'll still go Miro.
Yeah, probably Miro, Sagan, Wyatt, if they do 3.
Oh, you think Wyatt too?
I think Wyatt might get one this year. Never know. He might get Joe's,
Oh, wow. What a circle of life type of event that would be. That'd be awesome. How long till October? I can't even words.
Can't even words?
I can't words. My brain is just. I'm so excited for hockey.
Who put it up the other day? Somebody put up 108 days till opening night or something like that,
So, okay, we're over 100 days. That's too long. Is it October yet?
Not yet. But, end of next week, we're halfway through July. So,
God, that needs to hurry up too.
yeah. I hate summertime. So,
Me too. Getting to the point as a Dallas fan where I just hate the playoffs too.
no, I just hate the heat. So,
Yeah, there's that too. Obviously, we're in Texas.
yeah. So,
All right, man. Well, what else you got? Anything?
I think that's about it.
Thinking the same thing.
Should be interesting these next few weeks. See if anybody else gets married. We know Jake got married here a week ago or so. Still waiting for a few guys and see if there's any marriages or personal life changes or things like that. It's always kind of cool to see with the guys.
You know what they should do? They should marry Victor E. Green.
Should marry Victor E. Green.
Heck yeah! Give him a female alien.
Oh no, they don't need we don't need a female alien.
Why not?
Okay, so in the playoffs, in the home games, did you get to see any of the opening ceremonies? Did they show any of that?
Maybe a time or two, but I really can't recall them. So
did you ever see what they were calling the space alien?
No.
The guy from another planet, whatever.
Not that I can recall, no.
Okay. So they had it was the whole outer space thing. So when we got the season ticket holders got the questionnaire for the end of the year and how did you like this, how did you like that, what could we change, they actually asked if the fans liked the alien, and he was a great big dude. You could tell he was on stilts, but like he had a cape on, he had a mask, very very much I wouldn't say a Star Wars kind of thing, but kind of. And they asked, would you like it if he was part of the show? And me, I personally, I thought he was very cool. So it'll be interesting to see if they incorporate that this off season, into the opening act and everything. Because other than the AI thing, for the opening part of for the playoffs, that one was I didn't really like the whole AI thing, especially the way they spelled playoffs. It didn't bother me, but some people it was like, oh my god, that was the worst thing ever. So
I slept really well those nights too because I saw a whole bunch of people annoyed. It was
so yeah.
Like,
well, and one of the other questions where it's like, oh, did you like the lasers and did you like the on ice projectors? And I was like, yeah, I love the lasers. I love the projectors on the ice. I know they're extremely expensive. I was like, but that would be cool at every game because Vegas does it, Edmonton does it. These teams are getting where they're investing more and more into their opening ice shows and things like that. Because in all honesty, Dallas is kind of boring when it comes to their on the inside of the arena, and I would like to see them step it up a little bit.
Weldon wants pregame production.
Yes.
I mean,
why not? It's a business.
I agree. The couple of games that I actually got to go to that I didn't get sick, because the temperature thing got to me. Um, I don't remember ever seeing anything really all that cool. Like the pregame stuff was not what I remember
Yeah.
at all. So, I mean, speaking from the point of view that fans don't, of the fans that don't get to go all the time, that are special occasion type or even just visiting, I think if you gave them a little bit more in pregame production, I think maybe they'd be more willing to come back.
Oh yeah.
I think,
I mean, you've got to put on a show the entire time.
yep,
You know.
you get more business that way too because people will be like, "Have you been to a Stars game? This, that."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree.
I mean, when we went to the Vegas game a couple of years ago, it was my first time ever going to Vegas. I'd never been.
Hmm.
And then we went to the game, and I'm like, dude, these people are freaking crazy. You know, I mean, they put on which Vegas you expect it's gonna be a show. You know, it's gonna be a production and everything. I mean, it was really cool to see, Vegas doing the drum line, and then they did what most people call it, the medieval times segment of their show. That was cool, you know. So, and then when we went to the Edmonton game during the playoffs, you know, and I was telling Selena, our singer, this today. I was like, we got to go and watch. I think it was game 4. Um, I was like, those people are freaking nuts. They don't shut up. They're cheering the entire time. They're making noise the entire time. I was
Hmm.
like, Dallas fans could learn something. You know, I mean, they were loud, and like when the game that we went to, we scored the first 2 goals really, really quick, you know, and I didn't jump up and celebrate, and, because I was totally outnumbered. And, and I hit, and when we sat down, we had, fans, oh, Dallas. And I was like, look, we're cool. We don't, I said, I'm not going to sit here and trash talk and everything. And throughout the game, we BS'd with everybody around us, and they were like, oh, okay, y'all are really cool, I was like, that's just the way we are. I was like, you come to our arenas, we'll treat you the same way.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, I mean, they were loud. I mean, the entire game they're going, and Dallas has got to. The crowd in Dallas has got to figure that out. I mean, I'm personally not a big yeller and screamer and everything during the game because I'm too into watching the game. I hate people talking around me unless you're talking about the game.
Yeah.
Because, like I've told you before, I've heard way too many conversations that I didn't need to hear.
Yeah.
About other things, people's time at work and, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's actually what I was telling you about. That kind of irked me a little bit. Like I said many times, they're not loud enough,
Yeah.
and I got some pushback from people on it. And it's just like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, you can't hear them consistently
Mm-hmm.
from the TV. Yeah, you can hear a dull little roar,
Yeah.
which I mean, duh, but it's never "Let's go Stars,
Yeah.
let's go Stars" all the time.
Yeah.
It should be like
Well,
it's
I mean, and a lot of that's on Jeff K. And I love Jeff K to death. I mean, I think he's a great in-ring guy, but they've got to get the crowd into it more. I don't know who the DJ guy is now. Um, but they, I honestly think this, even the Stars, the Cowboys, the Mavericks, whatever, all their media guys should go and visit other rinks or stadiums and listen to how, some of these other guys do stuff and take ideas from it. Look at Nashville. Nashville's loud as hell.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their cool little chants and people in Dallas be like, "Oh, we should do that." I'd be like, "Well, start it up." They had to have someone start it.
Yep.
So
It's gonna catch on if people hear it.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, even in the CHL, we used to get it was similar to what Nashville does at chanting the goalie's name 3 times, and then it's not your fault, it's you suck, and
Yeah.
that used to be the big CHL thing. Corpus used to do that all the time. So,
They did
and
that in the early 2000s when Edmonton and Dallas were playoff rivals.
oh really?
Yeah.
And I mean, like the game that we went to, I mean, they were chanting. It sounded like they were chanting Ottinger, but some people around us were chanting Otter. And
Yeah.
and I told one guy, I was like, okay, Otter's what we call him because he's our guy. He's our goalie, our friend, whatever. Why would you want to call him a friendly name? And he's like, oh. And then he went to Ottinger. So, but it would, that'd be like us chanting Skinner, but, chanting whatever his nickname was. So,
Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, I almost went into some. Nah, nope. Don't know how Edmonton works. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There you go.
but yeah, that was my biggest thing is, when we went to that game, I was like, wow, these people are freaking loud in here.
I liked it.
Oh yeah, I did too. It was fun. Even though we lost those, the game there when we made the split with them, it was like, oh, okay, and most of the fans were nice to us. There was the occasional, oh, Dallas, go back home. It's like, oh, she's from Edmonton, shut up. It's like I converted her to a good team. And we were getting, people be like, well, if y'all win, we're going to root for y'all in the playoffs, and and it's like, well, if we don't win, I'm not rooting for y'all. and I so wanted Florida to win. I mean, can't stand Matthew Tkachuk, but turned out to be, he won it for his dad. So that was that.
That's a win. Come on.
Keith never won it.
There you go.
And he, and he was on some good teams, and
Yeah,
he just never could win it. And he, both his boys are cut from the same cloth that he was from. He was a douche on the ice. He was an instigator, and both his boys play the same way. Just Matthew has figured out how to score. Brady still hasn't figured that out yet. He just needs to get the hell out of Ottawa. So
I'd take him here too.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want Brady. I'd take Matthew, even though he's kind of a douchebag himself, but I would take him over Brady.
He might be the Dumba type of personality, though. You think he's?
Brady likes to fight, where Matthew likes to turtle up and not fight.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Especially who was it? Zach Cassian grabbed him from Edmonton when he played for Calgary, and he turtled up.
He did. That was good times.
So.
Oh, a Kachuk on the Stars, though. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be very interesting.
I mean, this is coming from a guy that to be brutally honest with you, I only remember Keith Kachuk on the Blues. So,
Yeah.
like, a Kachuk on the Blues would be kind of cool. I don't know.
Oh yeah. So
But, all right. Well, we've got, what is it, 102 minutes here on the show?
yeah, an hour and 42 minutes. So
This is a fun show.
yeah, getting a lot of topics covered. It's not just on the Stars, but
I mean, it's kind of supposed to be.
well, it's a hockey show. So,
Yeah, no more valleys.
yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see where they go to.
Oh man, put it on the internet. Go to YouTube.
Well, I had read something about they were talking about a streaming app or something like that, which I don't know.
Twitch, do Twitch.
I don't even know what Twitch is. So
it's for gamers. That's my jam. Or what's the other one? Oh shit.
how about you just put it on regular TV?
That's what I was saying in the beginning. I remember TXA 21.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to.
As long as Razor and Josh are calling it, I don't care. Put it on whatever channel they want.
I got some stuff to tell you off mic. I can't do it right here.
So,
but yeah, I'll go ahead and agree with that though, just to be safe. Because yeah, but why couldn't they put it on Fox?
well, I mean, they could. They'd have to pay for it.
That would be awesome. I mean, if you can get a deal with WWE, come on now.
Well, they're actually WWE's moving away from Fox here pretty soon.
Yeah, Netflix, right?
Well, no, the Monday night is going to Netflix, but one of the other ones I think is going to USA or
that's right.
One other channel. I don't know.
That's some business I'd like to get in on too. How do y'all decide the TV deals?
Well, that's the biggest thing that hockey needs in general is more TV revenue. Yeah. If NHL had the TV rights that the NBA has, the money that these teams would make and be able to pay these players better would be way more.
I wonder how they get over that hump.
Well, I mean, I've always said that hockey is very much a niche sport. You've got to draw the people into it. It's not. I mean, honestly, I've sat and watched a basketball game versus watching a hockey game. Basketball is boring as hell.
I think the same thing about baseball.
Yeah. I mean, I can't sit and watch baseball. I don't know how baseball teams pay a player $50 million when half the stadium is full all the time.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the Rangers are, what kind of fan, what kind of attendance they have now, since they are the world champs. But I mean, how do you pay these players that kind of money when, you only put 8,000 people in a 20,000 seat, baseball stadium?
Mm-hmm.
So, football I can see because every time you see a football game, stadium's full. Baseball, you can't say that.
No, you really can't.
Hockey, yes, you can say that most stadiums are full all the time. Handful of teams, and unless they're just having a really really bad year, You know, like I heard the Ducks and who was it, Anaheim? Um, oh, Sharks. You know, you could get tickets for $25. So
God, that should be illegal. Makes me feel bad for him.
I mean, my season ticket, that's about what my season tickets cost me.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My season tickets for where I sit are $30.
Dang.
So,
That's not bad. Pretty
no,
good seats, too.
yeah. I mean, they're right there on the glass. So, yeah, they're in the upper deck, but I can see everything. So,
I would need binoculars because I can't see crap anyways.
well, then you watch that big fancy, $10 million Jumbotron.
On in the arena?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be the shortest one in the arena, so
No, you said ADA and you sat right up against the glass and either upper deck or first level, you're looking pretty much directly at the Jumbotron.
oh gosh. That sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
Man. You got me wanting to go to a hockey game now. God bless America. I don't know. I think I'm going stir crazy without it. And I see all the hockey news and it's like, let's go. Just make it happen tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm bored. I already see the Cowboys hype too. It's like, you know what? I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan. Screw them. Where's the stars? I don't know what it is, but I guess I am. Well, I don't guess I am. I am really happy to have this show because at least we can talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And you're kind of making me want to start writing again, whether it's for myself or somebody else. I mean, it's just you got my juices going. Thank you. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say except for I think Matt Dumba is going to be a surprise.
I think they'll get over the whole, thing about him. So
Do you remember Todd Fedoruk?
I remember the name. I don't.
He was kind of a goon or butthead too for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And when he played for Dallas for a little bit, they liked him too.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny how that tends to happen when you have a guy that you know is a bit of an edge and has a little bit of goonness to him. Oh, we like him. He was a great player. You know, I mean, everybody loved Roussel when he was here, and then when he went to Vancouver, granted he didn't get to play against us very much because he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he went to Arizona, he got to play against us a couple of times, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a bit of a wild card." And it's like, well, you watched him for 5 years. Did you think he was going to change his play and play us like, oh, it's Dallas, oh, I've got to play them easy,
He's out there to do a job. If he ain't
Yeah.
doing his job, he needs to be off the ice.
Yep. And he's another guy that we lost just due to an overpayment in a contract, and I'm glad that he left and he made his money, because he sure as heck wasn't going to make that here in Dallas. I think he left for what, 4.25 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he had only scored like 10 goals that year before he left. And everybody's like, oh no, he's a fan favorite. Don't let him leave. He didn't want to leave, but Dallas wasn't willing to pay him. And, I don't blame him for leaving.
Gotta keep the lights on, man.
Yeah. Got to take, and he said, I have to take care of my family. you know.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him for leaving for $4.5 million. I would do the same thing, you know.
Yeah, I was upset about it too. I saw a memory about it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
upset about it too.
I had one not long ago too. You know that we'd had a picture with him or something, and it's like, oh, Rue, you know. Oh, you know, he was always so nice to talk to, and things like that. And you know, it's kind of the same with Voxa. I mean, every time I saw him, the guy always had a smile on his face. He was always very cordial to the fans, and you know, he would he would stop. He would put his food down. You know, if he was leaving practice, and come and sign autographs, walk the line. You know, just always an incredibly nice guy. So, you
Sounds
know,
like he was grateful.
I'll definitely miss seeing him, you know, on our season ticket holder experience. If you know, if we go down, you know, after a game again and see the players, uh, and talking to him for you know a few minutes because he would always just you know kind of stand there and talk with us while he's you know signing autographs and you know taking pictures and stuff. He was just you know really nice guy. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's always cool when you get the guys that are very genuine and you know actually want to talk or you know kind of cut up with you, especially if you know if they've seen you around. Like Tyler, he's always seen us at the rink or you know when we've gone out of town. We'll go down to the glass and he'll always you know kind of be shocked to see us there, and so you know, and it's like this year it was like when he came out and I'm like, well, how does it feel to be a married man? You know, and he's like, oh, you know, it's great, you know, have giggling and everything. So, you know, it's just, you know, kind of funny. Some of the guys were a little less talkative, you know. Jamie's never very talkative you know, when you approach him and everything. Um, Suter was Suter was incredibly nice. He actually remembered me from when I made the trade with Jake for a stick for you know one of my blankets, and he was just like, "Oh yeah," he said, "You know that was just really cool what you did with Jake," and he said we get a lot of people that you know they just want to ask for something, and I was like, "Nope," I said, "I like to trade," you know, I said, "You know, these are." Tools that y'all use, y'all don't have to give these up to fans, and he's like, wow, that was just really cool. So, you know,
That's awesome.
I'm I'm always surprised when they, you know, when a player actually remembers me or, you know, remembers something that I've done or, you know, because I've traded a couple of guys for sticks for blankets and stuff like that. So, you know, I traded Tyler right because he's a Patriots fan. I traded him just for taping up a stick. And I was like, can you make this look like your game ready sticks? Because this is when his sticks were still like $600. And I was like, can you just tape it up? And I said, autograph it. He's like, what are you going to do with it? I was like, I'm going to put it on my wall. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, you're not going to sell it? And I was like, nope, not going to sell it. I was like, I can take it home, put it on a pit, you know, put it on the wall, take a picture, and I'll send it to you. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, you can do that. So, you know, over my TV, I've in our media room, I've got a Ben stick that's signed. I've got Tyler's stick. I've got Klinger's stick that they used in the tribute game that has a France sticker on it from
Mm.
from when there was some bombing or attack or something in France. And I've got a Radulov stick up there that's signed, and
Oh,
a Heiskaden stick,
I'm jealous. Dang.
and then countless other sticks. I've got more sticks of players that are not with the Dallas Stars on my wall now that than I have current players.
Dang, that is so cool.
Well, it's kind of sad because I want my current players on the wall now, and I've got another wall that's got, what is it? Pollock, Pitlick, Garbett, a couple, Foxa. I think on that wall, Rope is the only one that's still currently playing with Dallas. So I haven't put my Robertson stick up yet. I haven't put because I'm going to try to get Wyatt to sign his. I lost 3 signature sticks this year because of Kiviranta leaving, Pav's leaving. I never got his signed, and Delandria's.
Oh,
Because I had one of his sticks from Cedar Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but maybe who knows, when a blackout game comes next year, I'll wear my Delandria jersey and see if I can get it signed. Maybe.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Go stand down on the other end and get him to. Because see, he was one of the ones that we needed to sign our Dallas Stars flag board, and I never got Delandria to sign it. So never got Delandria to sign it, never got Tanev to sign it.
Yeah, Tanev took the money and ran anyways.
Well, he went and collected money. So
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Another one of those bad contracts. That there is no way he makes it 6 more years.
Might make it through 2.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
see.
player, but I can't blame Neil for letting him walk. Not for wanting 6 years and $4.5 million.
Oh, I know. That is a lot to tie down there.
Yep. That'll be his final contract. So
that sounds ominous when you think about it.
Well, I mean, you figure he's 32 years old, so then you're pushing up into Suter's age, 38, 39. So
if he even lasts that long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. If he lasts that long. So I can't blame Neil for not wanting to sign that.
No, I can't either.
If he would have been more reasonable at maybe, hey, 3 years, I think Neil probably would have gone, 3.5, 4 million, 4.5, but not for 6.
Right. That's really steep.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, I mean, okay. So to sum up this show, I think you've changed my mind on the uncertainty of this team.
I think we're going to be fine.
I'm starting to think so too, and I was worried about it. I was really worried.
I think we're going to be fine. It'll take some getting used to, but
bunch of young guns running around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're definitely going to have the young guns running around, but I mean, it's not like the only other one that's going to be a young gun that'll battle for a spot on the defense is going to be Bichelle.
Oh,
and who's to say if he does, he might bounce back and forth, but he's got to stay playing on U.S. soil. He can't bounce back to Sweden or Switzerland or wherever the hell he was playing, when he played like 15 games and then he wanted to go home.
Yeah.
So he's got to play on U.S. ice, get used to that size of the rink, and adapt to it, especially if he wants to make it up in, to the big team. You can't be bouncing back and forth, and Miro didn't do it. Essa didn't do it. None of our guys have bounced back and forth between European leagues and in the U.S. league.
No, they haven't.
I want to say what did Miro play? Did he play another year after he got drafted, or did he come straight to the Stars?
I think he came straight to the Stars from what I remember. I could be
Think-
wrong.
Seems like there was one person that we drafted one year as a defenseman, and he stayed one more year in wherever he was playing over in Sweden or Finland or something like that. Can't remember who it was. But yeah, Michelle's got to stay on U.S. ice. Even if it's in Cedar Park for one more year, and then there's a ton of spots opening up for defensemen.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Oh, the next 2 years is gonna be wild. But, when players are coming up for bigger contracts, guys are going off of big contracts, and so yeah, next couple of years is going to be insane in Dallas. So
I just hope it has a Stanley Cup or two in it too.
I mean, look at how close they were this year. I mean, a bounce here, a bounce there, and we could have easily been playing Florida. So,
and we could have easily had our freaking ice wiped with our own freaking mugs on it. I don't know. Ugh. I think Florida would have destroyed us.
think what?
I think Florida would have destroyed us. They would have mopped the ice with us. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Honestly, I don't think so. Because we played Florida very well both times that we played them. It wasn't, we had that one collapse that, that we started setting back and going back into that damn prevent defense.
Yep.
And that's what got us on that. But they didn't run off from us or run away from us or anything. I think it would have been a better game against them than it was against Edmonton. So,
well, the thing is, though, you gotta have the gumption to keep going forward, and I feel like that's what Dumba adds, yeah, but did we have it last year? I can't really say that because they quit on. Well, it seems like they quit or ran out of gas, whatever the case, against Edmonton. Because they had Colorado and Vegas too, but
I wouldn't say that they were. I mean, yeah, I think they did run out of gas, but Edmonton's power play, that was what beat us.
Yeah, they were white hot.
And then their penalty kill was freaking out amazing. But you figured the first or second game that went to overtime, and that they ended up winning when they split down here.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been game one, whichever one it was. When Robo hit the post.
Oh yeah,
that could have very easily been. There's a win for Dallas. That series could have gone either way. I mean, yes, they looked like they had kind of run out of gas, but they just went through the defending Stanley Cup champions, the previous year Stanley Cup champion, and then an Edmonton team that was, pretty hot going in and whined and cried about penalties. And then, miraculously, they started getting them. And that was pretty much the series.
Yeah.
But I mean, It's not like Edmonton wiped the floor with us. Yeah, they beat us one bad game, but it was not an 8-1 game.
No, it wasn't.
But I mean, there's always those games in the playoffs that one team is gonna, they're gonna get hot in the playoffs and have just a miraculous game. So, but I don't think Dallas was too far off, but I wouldn't say that Florida would have just wiped the floor with us. I think we were pretty evenly balanced, even with Florida and with Edmonton. So,
well, maybe somehow it'll end up in a repeat. That'd be trippy.
It'll be interesting to see what Edmonton does this year, or what Florida does this year, because both teams have traded off some big pieces already.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, luckily Dallas didn't lose a whole lot of, yes, they lost Pavelski. They've recently lost Fatsa and Smith, but that's really all we lost on the forward lines.
People.
Now you're gaining Bork. You possibly got another one that we haven't even talked about, Blumel.
Oh.
He's played very well when he's come up here. So,
that's true.
I think Dallas is going to be okay. It's just, who do they put on the lineups?
Ugh.
So,
preseason hockey, baby.
Yep. Preseason will be fun.
And I can't watch anything. Dang it.
Well, who knows, depending on what channel they put it on.
That's a solid point. I might see some preseason hockey on TV. Never know.
They put preseason football on. Why can't they put preseason hockey?
I said the same darn thing. And I like preseason football, believe it or not.
Yeah, I do too, unless my guys get hurt that I like to watch.
Overshown is going to blow it up. They're going
to
blow everybody up.
He's a nice guy. I like him. Agent O.
That might be the one player I look forward to watching for the Cowboys. The rest are just kind of eh.
I'll watch a few. I'll watch a few games this year. I'll watch a Kansas City game just to see how one of the receivers do that was from Texas, and
yeah,
a couple of other guys. So I'll watch a Chargers game to watch Jordan Whittington play, see how he does. So.
Right after I got that dude's jersey, he goes to the NFL. Man, I was so sad.
I've got Whittington's jersey hanging on my wall right now.
You lucky.
It's just a cheap knockoff, but it's got his signature on it. So,
I mean, it makes it authentic that way.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one guy that one page that I follow that he actually signs Texas players to autograph contracts.
Oh, sweet.
So you can go and, get a jersey or a mini helmet or whatever. So
that's cool.
I actually sent my full-size UT helmet to him and like $100 and got 4 or 5 players on there that were real hot last year. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So, but anyway, all right, man. Well, let me know when you want to do another show, and we'll figure out something else to ramble on for over 2 hours. So
sounds like a plan to me. I think maybe. God willing.
All right, man. Well, we will talk to you later. We'll see what happens here in the next few weeks and be looking forward to training camp here pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. And thanks for taking time to do the show with me. I know I owed you one the other night. I crashed.
Oh, you're good.
So.
All right, man. Well, we will talk at you later. So,
all right. Sounds good to me. Thanks again.
All right. See you later. Have a good night.
Later. You too. Go Stars.
Go Stars. Bye.
Bye.